in Syracuse. So yes, the poem is called Ape Herd. It's by the poet Malamy. It's translated by Nicholas Jose and Wu Baohei, so it's not going to be in Chinese. I amended it in a couple places where I felt like the copy of it that I found, copy of the translation I found didn't make sense, so it's a little bit off from that. And it's in a prologue and 3 sections. Ape Herd. Prologue. According to legend, our ancestors were just, until one day the drunken princeling son stumbled into the boudoir of his sister Earth, as if she were his wife fresh from the bath. Their incest so angered God the Father that he made us a gift of his daughter Earth, bestowing life on his tiny creatures, granting the choice of form and appearance, flesh and blood and reproductive power, while the son became, while the son received the punishment of fire, condemned to stoke the boilers for eternity. Through millennia of natural selection, we were born again, they say, so many times that no one remembers the particular day when we ruthlessly forsook the ape herd to become human. We chose to be human and we're proud of our state. Whether in the future we will reject it again and our species mutate in some other form is impossible to say, and nobody worries. Only when our earth stretches in the grass like a tawny pelted cow in rigor mortis, and the oven stoker seems hell-bent on boiling us and the carcass into one last stew, do our fears grow wildly, and we wonder, is humanity to be wiped out at last? Do we return to slime? Will God let earth rot and us, the maggots, teeming on her corpse? There's no answer. Who can guess at God's intent? Our only comfort is to say it's up to him. 1. A savage beast pounces with no fear of its savagery, without trembling as it sinks its teeth. Do you remember? When was it that we first learned to use bones stripped of flesh as spears to grasp in our hands day and night to protect ourselves, to protect the places we called home, all the women, all the children, to protect the love that existed among us? When did it begin that we shook our fists at the sun, yelling, "Watch out! There's only one of you left, and you're entering my line of fire"? When did we first realize that we must steal seeds of fire from the sun, set alight the surrounding hostile dark, set ablaze stretches of crazy winter cold to scare off howling packs of hyenas and wolves? When did it begin that we tamed the unchecked rivers, despite their brawling, brawny strength, preventing rape and spoliation of our fields as vulnerable as frightened women? When did it begin that with throngs of children and grandchildren we set out to level the mountains, fill up the seas? When did the longing begin for our 2 strong arms to become wings, to bear us aloft, to graze on meadows of snowy cloud, or penetrate the goddess's love garden while she's asleep and toy with her favorite rabbit? When began our yearning? When began our fantasy of carefree happiness, diving to the sea floor, throwing our arms around turtles, sporting with crustaceans, swimming with the shoal, riding from the eastern sea to bob up in the southern sea? Do you remember? When began the yearning to become as ships, not drifting on life's bitter ocean, but striving for the secret cities of the sea, archipelagos, explorations, in quest of joy, although in our hearts we understood that many of us sailing on that voyage would founder in lonely pools of our own blood? When did it begin? When began... I'll lose it. When did it happen? When was that? Once upon a time together we planned to pluck a cluster of stars, those grapes that hang on high. Usually we understood love and tenderness, became as fire-absorbing water, though one might die in the other's embrace. Nor should our swords sleep in our hand. Our passion should spread to others like the relay of a glowing brand, no matter how feeble its tips of fire, perhaps already at point of extinction. We also hated, caught and killed birds and beasts to consume their flesh and make coats from their feathers and fur. We offered prayers of supplication for a decent livelihood from the earth we turned. We suffered and grieved, wept tears enough to irrigate our fields. We also knew how to taste pleasure, to rejoice. Do you still remember how uninhibitedly we raised the breast-shaped wine pots body to body in ardent embrace? How contentedly we drank ourselves blind. We were men as well as women who might be horses and cattle too. Seems like we had no idea at all what we were, what we are. We could think, we could die, our faces growing like the yellow land, bleached and sallow with each passing day, senile and withered with each passing day, gnawed full of rotting wounds by those gruesome worms of time.